Welcome to the very first devlog for Towercraft, a tower defense game with fully customizable towers that I'm prototyping in Dreams, then developing in Godot. In this devlog, I'll go over the game's design and then my plan for actually creating the game. Let's start with the gameplay loop so everything else has context. Before the start of each wave, you enter build mode. In build mode, 10 randomly generated tiles are dealt to you, and you can place as many or as few as you want as long as you place at least one path tile. In build mode, you can also buy, customize, and upgrade your towers. After you're done in build mode, you enter play mode. In play mode, enemies spawn from portals, which appear at every dead end. The type and quantity of enemies that spawns entirely depends on what tiles have been placed. In play mode, you can only upgrade your towers. I don't currently have any plans for manual abilities, but I am definitely open to ideas because it is kind of boring just watching your towers kill everything. Well, it's not that boring, but you know what I mean. Maybe a customization that lets you manually aim the tower with your mouse? I don't know, something. But after all enemies are killed, you are sent back to build mode. There are also boss tiles randomly placed across the map, and whenever you connect a path to one of them, the associated boss will spawn in the next wave. To win the game, you have to kill every boss on the map. And that's the basic gameplay loop. Place tiles, build towers, kill enemies, then repeat. Now that you have the proper context, let's dive deeper into some of the unique systems that I have planned, namely the towers and the tiles. Unlike the vast majority of tower defense games, in Towercraft, there's just one tower type you can buy. But as you play, enemies will drop tower parts that let you customize exactly how your tower functions. I've had this idea for tower crafting in a tower defense for a while, but I could never figure out how the tower crafting should actually work that made sense. That is until now. Every tower has 3 sections: the projectile, the barrel, and the base. The projectile controls what the tower shoots. The barrel controls how the tower shoots, and the base has a very large impact on the tower's stats and can completely alter how the tower functions. There are 2 types of items that can be added to a section: models and modifiers. The main way you get these items is from killing enemies. A model is basically what the section is, and each section can only have one model. When adding a model to a tower, its current one will be destroyed. The models for the projectile section are arrow, bullet, saw blade, lightning, missile, laser, and flame. The models for the barrel are single shot, reverse shot, double shot, triple shot, tri-shot, and hex shot. And finally, the models for the base are basic, heavy, rapid, and fixed. A modifier is a way to modify that section. You can have 5, maybe. I haven't nailed down the exact amount. Modifiers per section, with multiple of the same modifier strengthening the effect. The projectile modifiers are poison, freeze, weaken, on-hit damage, and burn. The barrel modifiers are fire rate, aim speed, projectile size, projectile speed, and range. And finally, the base modifiers are additional gold per kill, increased projectile modifier limit, increased barrel modifier limit, and movable. And finally, you can upgrade towers using the gold gained from killing enemies. My current plan for upgrading is just a straight up boost to the tower's base stats, but I'm open to the idea of being able to upgrade specific parts of the tower. Maybe you can upgrade each stat individually, I don't know yet. So that's pretty much everything you need to know about towers. It goes without saying, but I plan on adding way more models and modifiers than what I've shown here. I just need ideas. So if you have any ideas, I'd love to read them in the comments. And if I end up using your idea, I'll add your name to the item's description. The other unique mechanic is that you build the map as you play using hex tiles. Before each wave, you get a set of random tiles you can place. These tiles either contain a path or a tower spot and have a biome associated with it. The enemies that spawn are dependent on what biomes the tiles are. So you are able to control where the enemies go, where your towers go, and what type of enemies spawn. This gives the player so much more to think about compared to a typical tower defense game. The catch is that the tiles you get are random. There will also be pre-placed boss tiles on the map when the game first starts. When a path is connected to one, it will spawn a boss on the next wave. I'm also thinking about adding more types of pre-placed tiles like reward tiles or challenge tiles. Certain tile combinations will create effects, spawn mini-bosses, or other things I haven't exactly come up with yet. The current 2 combinations are Mountain and Enchanted Forest. If you create a mountain, for example, an additional rock golem mini-boss will spawn every wave. If you create an Enchanted Forest, this one does a little bit more. The tower in the center of it will gain 50% damage, an Ent mini-boss will spawn each wave, and all enemies in the Enchanted Forest will slowly heal over time. The current tile biomes are Plains, Forest, Mountain Range, Crystal Fields, Desert, and Graveyard, which spawn a Slime, Tree Monster, Rock Crawler, Floating Crystal, Sandworm, and Skeleton, respectively. I plan on adding a lot more combinations, biomes, and enemies, and I'd love to hear your ideas on what they could be. There are a ton more systems, mechanics, decisions that I could talk about, but I'll save them for future devlogs. I'd like to finish this devlog with talking about how I plan to actually make the game. My plan is a little bit different compared to your typical indie dev. I'm going to create a gameplay prototype first, and then create the full game. But that's not the part that's different. What's different is that I'm going to create the prototype in Dreams, and then the full game in Godot. Dreams is a game on PS4 and PS5 that's essentially a game engine, Blender, FL Studio, and Steam all in one. The catch is that you can't sell or export the games you make. So the question I get asked really often is, why don't you just make the prototype in Godot? And that's a great question. There's a lot of reasons actually, but 2 main ones. The first one is feedback in the community. With a prototype made in Dreams, I save it and people with Dreams can play it. It's that simple. Feedback during the prototyping stage is so invaluable, and making the process of getting that feedback be as frictionless as possible is really important. Dreams having a built-in community of thousands of players means that there will always be people that are able to give me feedback. That is not to say that I couldn't get feedback if I made the prototype in Godot. I could save it, I could export it, I could post it, post the file onto somewhere public, maybe on itch, and then people could download it. But the thing is, that's a lot of steps, right? With Dreams, people are already playing Dreams. They just search your game and they can play it. The second main reason is speed. It's not really debatable that you can create things in Dreams faster than a typical PC game engine. Dreams has everything right there. The prototype is about finding what works and what doesn't. And if you spend 10 hours implementing a system that doesn't work, the sunken cost fallacy is going to have a very large impact on whether you keep that system. With a Dreams prototype, if something doesn't work, then it's whatever. Scrap it and try something else. It's quicker, and scrapping it doesn't feel like you're losing as much time since you'll just be making it from scratch in a different engine later on. Now, I'm not saying you have to make a prototype in Dreams. I am saying you really, really should make a prototype, but it doesn't have to be in Dreams. For me, that's what makes the most sense. For you, maybe not. But the speed at which you can make things in Dreams, combined with the fact that I've been playing and working in Dreams for a while, it just makes the most sense. All right, so that was a lot about the prototype. What about the actual game? So as I've said, I'll be making the game in Godot and releasing it on Steam. I'm choosing Godot over something like Unity or Unreal for a bunch of reasons, but TLDR, I love its node system. It's extremely lightweight and it's free, 100% free. It'll be coded in Godot's built-in language, GDScript. I've done several projects using it, and I see no reason not to with this one. The art will be a 3D low-poly style using assets from the recent low-poly Humble bundle. And anything I need that isn't in the bundle, I'll either find or make using Blender. And the animations will be made either in Godot or Blender, depending on how complicated I decide they need to be. The music and sound effects will be from Dreams. So this is another benefit for prototyping in Dreams. There's an application I can fill out that allows the use of exported audio from Dreams. And by export it, I mean I literally just play the dream and record it. There is no built-in export. That's what I'll be doing for Towercraft. Finding or, God forbid, making the sounds and music is a huge pain for me. So using Dreams to do that is so much easier. It's worth noting that I've gone through this entire process once before with my game Laser Bounce. I made the game in Dreams, and then I remade it in Godot using the sounds from Dreams. It turned out really, really well, in my opinion. And you can play it for free on Android or for $2 on Steam. The links are in the description. That's it for Devlog 0, guys. The rest of the devlogs from here on out will be progress updates, so if you liked what you saw here, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss them. I'll also be regularly streaming the development of the game here on YouTube and on Twitch. If you want to see me actively develop it live and even have an impact on the direction of the game, make sure to stop by. If you want to financially support me in this game, become a member of the channel by pressing the join button below. That's the best way. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.